I guess we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Can we do the pledge? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. I pledge allegiance to the flag
United
of the
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, gonna do the sunshine announcement. So, in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been given to the editor of the Bergen Record, L. Espelito, and posted with the city clerk on February 6th of this year. This meeting was also posted on the Jersey City Division of City Planning webpage, and all distribution materials made available to the board were published and made available to the public. And for the record, today is February 10th, and this is a regularly scheduled Jersey City Planning Board meeting with a 5:30 p.m. start time.
Thank you, Cameron. Can we have a roll call?
Yes, Acting Vice Chair Gangadin,
Here.
Commissioner Wick,
Here.
Commissioner Stamato,
Here.
Commissioner Patel,
Here.
and Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Here.
All right, we have 5 commissioners present. We have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. And can we swear in the staff, please?
Let's see, Joe, Matt, Ben, Tanya, Cam, do you guys swear any testimony you give tonight's gonna be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thanks
Okay.
again. All right, Cam. Any correspondence?
Yes, Chairman, we have a lot, so bear with me. We will start under new business continued, and that is on page 7. So you can go to page 7 of your agenda, and okay, actually, scratch that. It's page 8. And the first item, request any carry with preservation of notice, is case P2024-0206. That's address 373 Communipaw Avenue. It's for a preliminary and final major site plan. That's item 19 on the agenda, and they are requesting to carry with preservation of notice to February 24th. That is our next regularly scheduled meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Next, item 20. This is case P2025-0091. This is a minor site plan. Address is 69 Lake. They've requested to carry with preservation of notice to our next regularly scheduled meeting, February 24th of this year. Item 21. This is case P2025-0130. This is for a preliminary and final major site plan. Address is 626 Communipaw, and they have requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 24th. All right. Item 23, it is a preliminary and final major site plan. Case number is P2025-0099. This is at address 53 Beacon Avenue. They've requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 10th. Next case, item 24, case P2025-0167. This is a site plan amendment. Address is NJ State Highway Route 440 and 8 NJ State Highway Route 185. They requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 24th. Item 25, case P2025-0062. This is a minor site plan. Address is 300 3rd Street. This application is being carried with preservation of notice to our next regularly scheduled meeting. This is February 24th. Item 26. This is case P2024-0064. This is a preliminary and final major site plan. Address is 103, 105, and 107 Monticello Avenue. They've requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 10th. Item 27, case P2025-0067. This is a preliminary final major site plan with C variances. Addresses 8 to 16 Lot Street and 625 to 639 Newark Avenue. They've requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 10th. All right, and then we are getting close to the end. Okay, so, yep, page 12, case P 2025-0144. This is a preliminary and final major site plan. Address is 500 Washington Avenue, and they've requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 24th. And then item 30, case P 2025-0227. This is a site plan amendment at 39 Regent Street. They've requested to carry to our next regularly scheduled meeting, and that date is February 24th with preservation of notice. And very last item on the agenda, 31, case P23-043. It's a preliminary and final major site plan with C variances at address 300 Communipal Avenue, and they've requested to carry with preservation of notice to March 24th. That concludes correspondence.
Thank you,
And
Cameron.
for the record, we marked into evidence the sunshine announcement as B1.
Samson?
Yes.
Number 9. Is that being carried? Because I'm confused on that one.
Not being carried to my knowledge.
I think the applicant's attorney can address that.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 second before we look at it.
Okay. All right. The applicant's attorney agrees to carry with preservation of notice 176 West Side to the next available hearing. That would be February 24th. And again, that would be with preservation of notice.
And that is number 9 on the agenda.
Yeah, that's,
Number 9.
excuse me. Yeah, and that is, number 9, new business, case P 2025-0086, site plan amendment at 176 West Side.
Okay.
Next regular meeting, that's February 24th, with preservation of notice. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me actually call this. Thank you, Cameron. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the first application up under new business. This is number 8 on everyone's agenda, case P2025-0182. This is for a Section 31 review, address 14 Enos Place, and Hudson County Community College is the applicant.
I have a, surface.
Yeah.
That's it, great.
Okay, you're good.
Good evening, Jennifer J. Bogdansky from the firm Connell Foley. I am representing the Hudson County Community College. This is a Section 31 application for Phase 3 of the college's wayfinding project, which is to unify its buildings in Jersey City by having the same type of signage on all the buildings so that you can identify where our Journal Square campus is. Phases 1 and 2 of the project were previously approved in 2023. This is the third phase of the project, and it relates to only the building at 14 Enos Place. I have my witness for this evening, architect Ralph Rosenberg, who will explain more about that for you.
Thank you.
Swear any testimony you give tonight's gonna be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, can you state and spell your name?
Ralph Rosenberg, Rosenberg.
Mr. Rosenberg, good evening.
Good evening.
Have we qualified you before in the past?
Yes, you have.
I remember. Okay. Good. You're qualified.
Mr. Rosenberg, we should mark the slide deck. How many slides are on the slide deck?
5. I think there's 5. I'm sorry, there's 6.
Okay. So we're going to mark it as A1 for the record. It's a 6. slide deck. And board, this is a 1031 review. As you know, we're reviewing for consistency with the master plan. This is for the community college, and we've already approved or recommended and found them to be consistent, phase 1 and 2, which are the earlier wayfinding signs at the college. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
Sir? Go ahead.
All set?
Yes, sir.
We are here to finish up the campus wayfinding identification program. I did present and testify for the Phase 1 and Phase 2, which really consisted of the Culinary Center, the library building on SIP Avenue, the STEM building on Academy Street, and then the Health Sciences building on Bergen. And I think all of those signs have been installed and completed. 870 Bergen, the Health Sciences might be lagging in that list, but all of the other signs that we've presented have been approved, built, and installed, and we're getting great reviews back from that. The last building, which we are here today, is the building under construction on Enos Place. It's the 12-story center campus. It's called Center for Student Success. And we're here to really talk about continuing that sign program for this new building, 12 stories. The signs are bigger, they're more dominant, and it sort of holds itself to the consistency of these other 4 buildings. So I'll go through the deck real quickly. The cover sheet is an important sheet because it also represents that rendering as you look from SIP Avenue down Enos Place to the small little visibility spot that the college unfortunately has for presence on Journal Square. Because of that, we are asking for, the biggest part of this application is this large jumbotron vertically on the face of the building on Enos Place. If you remember, or if you've seen the big arbor that's built on the Culinary Plaza between SIP and Newkirk, that same engineering, that same graphic is now presenting itself vertically as a wing wall on top of the new academic building on Enos Place. So if you've been by and experiencing what that looks like day and night with the multiple graphic opportunities, it's the same exact engineering we're proposing for Enos Place. Aside from that, we have 3 wall signs, again, one on Enos Place, one on Jones Street, and one on the top of the parapet facing south off of, looking back towards the STEM Center. So we'll just go through the deck real quick. Again, we've taken the documents and we've highlighted in red some of the locations that we are asking for your consideration tonight. The slide on the building on the left is the Enos Street elevation straight on. You could see sort of the red rubber band around the giant jumbotron we're asking for. And then on the 3rd floor, you could see the Center for Student Success sign. And then coming around the back on Jones Street, you see the same sign that says Center for Student Success on the top of the band of the 1st floor window. And then 2 crests, one dominant on top of the stair tower on Jones Street, and one facing the south building, facing the STEM Center, the same size crest, about 540 square feet. On top of the building, on the top parapet of the 12th story, we are oversizing the letters to almost a 5-foot letter because the college felt it was important with all of this energy and expense to really get some presence as we come in off the turnpike, coming into the tunnel. So that's why that sign way on the top is presented for us tonight. This exhibit represents, as point of reference, the graphics and the dimensions of all of the signs. The Center for Student Success is about 170 square feet. Again, that repeats itself on Enos and Jones Street. The big top parapet sign is about 180 square feet, I believe. And that's the big sign that's coming across when we come into Jersey City from the turnpike. The big giant crest is about 540 square feet. It's a similar crest that's on the library today off of SIP Avenue. And the big large jumbotron, again, it's 90 feet tall and it's 6 feet wide, about 540 square feet. Again, with the same engineering of those LED monitors that does exist on the banner off of the Culinary Plaza, SIP, and Newkirk. What was asked for also is the engineering of what these monitor boards look like. So it's sort of a lock-and-key Lego type setup where it's really mounted on the wing wall, which is under construction. And really, this is simply applying those LED blocks on top of that wing wall protruding off of the Eno Street facade. That's the deck, 6 slides.
Anyone have any questions?
No.
The illumination of these signs is going to be 24/7 or?
They are not 24/7. I do not recall the shut-off time, but the same rules and regulations that you gave the rest of the college campuses would persist on these as well.
Good. All right. Anything else, guys? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's your presentation, council?
That's it, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that concludes the presentation. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for the public at this point. Anyone here from the public?
Chair, see no one from the public. I would like to close the public portion.
Public is closed. And staff.
Certainly. Thank you, Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez. Yeah, so this is the third phase of wayfinding that the Planning Board has provided Section 1031 courtesy review to. These signs, like some of the others in the wayfinding plan, don't strictly conform with our sign ordinance. However, because Hudson County Community College is one of the anchor institutions, and the signs support the unique mission of the anchor institutions, which is a goal in both the Journal Square 2060 redevelopment plan as well as an explicit strategy for economic and community development in the master plan. These signs advance that mission, and it is staff opinion that it would be appropriate to find consistency with the master plan here.
Thank you.
And as a courtesy review, of course, they do not require a variance to deviate from our zoning code.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Chair would like to make a motion to approve case B 2025-0182 as presented to the board with staff recommendations and conditions.
Okay, motion made and seconded.
Acting Vice Chair Gangadin,
Aye.
Commissioner Stamato. Aye. Commissioner Patel. Aye. Commissioner Wick.
Aye.
And Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, next application is case number P 2025-0206. That is number 10 on the agenda, and this is for a Section 31 review as well. Address is 3044 Kennedy Boulevard.
It was a long walk, Chairman. Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening.
Thank you. Joseph Wenzel, friend of Wenzel, 1000 Clifton Avenue, Clifton, New Jersey, on behalf of the applicant, Golden Door Charter School. Once again, as you indicated, this is a courtesy review of an addition of a multi-purpose room to the school, which is going to be a great enhancement to the school's operations. Golden Door has been in operation in Jersey City for nearly 30 years at this point, believe it or not. So I have one witness tonight, Mr. New, and I would just ask that he be sworn in and qualified, and he can present the application to the board.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. New.
Do you swear any testimony you give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And for the record, can you state and spell your name?
Travis New, Travisnew.
Thank you. Do you need a hookup on this?
Yeah, I did. HDMI, yeah.
Yeah, I see you have the C port on the side.
Yeah, there should be an adapter, the white thing.
Yeah, I got it. It goes to HDMI.
Mr. New, have we qualified you before in the past? Have you presented in front of us?
No, I have not.
Okay, if you can give us the pleasure of telling us a little bit about yourself so we can qualify you.
I'm a graduate of the New Jersey Institute of Technology in 2014. I received my initial architectural license in the state of New York in 2017, and then gained reciprocity in New Jersey in 2018. I've been affiliated with Kappa Montalban Architects since 2016. I'm now an associate with the firm. I've testified in front of similar boards, including Patterson, New Jersey, Summit, New Jersey, Caldwell, New Jersey, Oakland, New Jersey, and as well as various historic commissions.
Great, thank you, Mr. New, you are qualified.
Mr. New, the slide deck, how many slides are in the deck?
There's 4.
All right, we're going to mark them as A1, 4 slides, today's date. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I apologize. This is, okay, there we go. That's good enough. So for a bit of background, the Golden Door Charter School serves kids through K through 8. There's about 660 kids on the campus. It's on the former St. John's Schools campus. As part of that, their mission, they serve kids K through 8. There's only one gym in the facility. This has created a bit of a backlog for them to be able to get as many gym classes and other specialty programming, such as parent-teacher conferences and everything set up and efficiently used. So what we have proposed is a new building that's approximately 1,800 square feet. It will have 2 bathrooms and about just under a 1,200 square foot multi-purpose room that can be used for physical activities for K through 2nd graders, and as well as auxiliary functions such as parent-teacher conferences. The building has been laid out on the site in the existing on an existing parking lot that has currently 6 spaces. During the construction process, after we're done, there'll be 3 spaces that will be reconfigured and remaining, while the rest of the spaces will be secured across the street in the housing development where the school currently secures the rest of their parking for their staff. And then inside, the building has been designed to be laid out in a similar manner to the chapel directly down the street in similar proportions, size, and scalings, where the materiality of the building utilizes a brick that is similar on campus, as well as red metal, which the current campus's windows utilize. We have a rendering of it, and then some elevations to show into scale of the adjacent construction. As you can see, it's approximately about 1.5 stories tall, because it is a fitness center, but it is in no way dwarfing the adjacent historic construction nearby.
Thank you, sir.
Chair, the only thing I want to add is that we did get a letter from the Historic Commission who indicated positively on the application. There were some conditions that were at the end of that letter. It was dated this day, February 10, and the school has no problem, and Mr. New has confirmed that there's no problem complying with those few conditions. So we ask that the board view favorably on this courtesy review.
Thank you, Mr. Wenzel. And is that your complete presentation?
That is the complete presentation.
Okay. All right. Anybody from the public?
Chair, see no one from the public. I would like to close the public portion.
Second.
Thank you. Public is closed. And Matt?
Certainly. Thank you. So just a clarification, so that memo dated today, February 10th, was not from the Historic Commission, but from a member of our historic staff. So it's from Michael Achimoff, Senior Historic Preservation Specialist, who, alongside our Historic Preservation Officer, Dan Reedon, reviewed the application in tandem with myself. As this property is located within the Journal Square 2060 redevelopment plan in Zone 6 preservation, which is principally the goals of which are around the preservation and adaptive reuse of historic structures. So this is an accessory structure to a historically significant school building that is currently utilized by the applicant. And so historic staff, in their memo, they outlined that they, in terms of determining consistency with these goals, with the preservation goals, as staff planner, I deferred to the expertise of our preservation staff, who deemed that this building conforms with the standards outlined in the zone and the Secretary Interior standards for rehabilitation. The applicant consulted heavily with historic staff on the materiality of the proposed accessory structure. And as mentioned in the memo, there are 4 what would be in this case non-binding conditions that are advisory in nature, because this is a Section 31 review and there's no binding resolution. With that being said, staff recommends a finding of consistency in coordination with the advisory to follow the conditions in the historic preservation memo regarding conforming Secretary and Interior standards, continuing work with the HPC staff throughout the process, and any changes, both field changes or changes between now and construction, to consult with historic staff on appropriateness.
Thank you, Matt.
Chair would like to make a motion to approve case P 2025-0206 as presented to the board with staff recommendations and conditions.
Okay, motion to approve made.
Acting Vice Chair Gangadin,
Aye.
Commissioner Stamato,
Aye.
Commissioner Patel, Commissioner Wick,
Aye.
and Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to the staff. They've been incredibly helpful.
They usually are. Thank you, sir. Okay, next case up is case 11 on our agenda, case P 2025-0199. This is a one-year extension with C variance. Address is at 352 Luis Munoz Marin Boulevard. Applicant is 352 Marin. Mr. McCann.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, staff, council. James McCann on behalf of 352 Marin LLC in connection with this application. I'm here very simply to request that this matter be carried to the March 24th Planning Board meeting.
Mr. Ward?
This application, they requested relief from a condition of approval, which was tied to the previous extension granted in 2025, which was that they were to file for a final major site plan application in connection with requesting another extension. In December of 2025, an amendment to amend the redevelopment plan was not authorized by the city council. In supplemental documents submitted by the council, the applicant's council, they were requesting relief based on an amendment potentially going through, and that resolution again was defeated. It's made part of the materials that were distributed to the board. I even reached out to the council asking if they wished for me to remove that supplemental document from their application, to which they never answered the question, but asked for a meeting to do a preliminary meeting to meet about the potential of a final major site plan application. So to me, the application still stands that they're requesting relief from the condition of approval. And that hasn't been clarified if they are no longer doing that. If they are, staff recommends that the board deny this application, make a motion to deny and approve that motion. This is a 4-phase project, which has been ongoing for 15 years. The first phase was completed in 2015. It was a rental building, which they recently sold in 2025. Phase 2 and 3 were completed and are condominium buildings. And they're leaving the last phase, which was always the case, the smallest piece to be completed, 32 units, all of which are income restricted for workforce housing. It is a required element and community benefit of the zoning. It is non-negotiable. It must be delivered, or all other phases are out of compliance with the zoning. And any delay, any further delays really shouldn't be considered by this board.
Mr. McCann.
Okay. So I'm not going to dispute most of what Mr. Ward is saying tonight. I don't think it's necessary. We did file an application in October, this application, requesting relief from the condition that the applicant file a final site plan application for Phase 4. As Mr. Ward pointed out, the reason we filed that application with that request for relief is because there was an amendment to the redevelopment plan being discussed, I believe, in the planning office, but it was certainly being discussed in the mayor's office. And the then mayor, Mayor Fulop, was very much in favor of the amendment to the redevelopment plan, and I believe suggested to planning that they should grant the application that I've requested that's before you tonight. Now, what has happened since then is that the mayoral administration has changed. There's a new mayor, and there may very well not be an amendment to the redevelopment plan that involves this property. So, acknowledging that there is a request for relief in this application, all I'm asking for is that it be carried for 45 days, and what I believe can be accomplished is my client can file an application for a final site plan approval for the 32-unit income-restricted building. The reason they haven't is because the discussions previously about the amendment to the redevelopment plan. And I will say, when the mayor's office tells you it's something they're in support of, you believe that it may very well happen. So now my client, which is Toll Brothers, understands that that amendment's probably not going to happen. They're not disputing the fact they have to build Phase 4, which is the 32-unit, 5-story workforce housing building. They just need a little bit more time to get their final site plan application together. So my thought was, if we adjourn this for 45 days, I have a meeting set up with Matt Ward and Tanya tomorrow at 11 o'clock it's a pre-application meeting to discuss a final site plan application for the very building that we're talking about. So I may be able to, in 45 days, amend my application that's before you tonight, remove the condition, the relief that I'm requesting, and just get an extension based upon the fact that I filed the final site plan application for the 32-unit building. One last thing, I think maybe there's a little bit of a loss of trust here between the planning division and my client. Matt recited the fact that it's a 3-phase project with a rental
Four-phase. Don't forget the
four-phase
four-phase.
project with a
Yeah.
rental building, first 3 phases with a rental building and 2 condos. But I think the part that he forgot to tell you is that my clients paid $2.8 million to the Affordable Housing Fund. They also paid $1.1 million into a fund to create a nonprofit organization that would run the theater building that they built and dedicated to the city for $10 consideration. That's 26,000 square foot, fully built out theater, which the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra has taken possession of pursuant to a lease agreement with the city
Mr.
for a
McMahon.
nonprofit that
Mr.
is
McMahon.
now run by the city.
Let's be honest. That's what
Let's.
got you to only have to build 32,
No question.
Workforce units.
My point is,
which you
they're
haven't built
going to
in over
build.
15
They
years.
are going to build the 32 workforce units.
When? They haven't filed the site plan application,
That's why I'm
which is
asking
clearly
for.
the frustration.
That's why I'm asking for a 45-day
So-
extension.
Is there a witness here tonight?
Does there need to be a witness?
depends.
I would
It
like to know
depends.
when your client was being courted about this amendment, because February last year you got up and you said you agree on behalf of your client to file an extension with the final major site plan, which didn't happen. I would like to know if your client was already being courted for this amendment, because if so, then you knew that both of these were happening in tandem. You should have made preparations to file for this application in conjunction with the extension. Not now receiving an email on January 29th, almost 2 months after this resolution was failed before council, for a preliminary meeting about an application that should have been received in October in advance of your extension exhausting.
So if there has to be a witness, I'll bring one the next time. I didn't think it was necessary. I don't exactly know when my client was being courted for the amendment. I do know that over the summer, there were a lot of discussions about the amendment. So, you know, the fact is, it really defeated the purpose of filing the final site plan application for the 32-unit workforce building, because the amendment was supposed to include that within it, plus 15% affordable housing under the IZO. So it was all supposed to, in theory, under the amendment, it was all going to be rolled into one application for an amendment to the redevelopment plan.
So, Mr. McMahon.
Was it poor judgment from my client maybe not to file a site plan application for the 32 units? Yes. It was a mistake. They probably should have done it, but they didn't.
What
So-
would be stopping you from filing this application if this application is denied?
Well, that's a good question. What is the purpose of denying the extension at this point? I'm coming here, I'm telling you, I've scheduled a meeting with you tomorrow. I know you don't want to grant the extension tonight, but what's the purpose of not giving me an adjournment for it so I can have the opportunity, let my client have the opportunity to prove to you they're going to file a final site plan application? What's the point of that?
When are you going to file it?
Well, we have to meet with planning
No,
like
you
we
don't.
always do.
No, you don't. We'll waive that requirement. Can you file it by the end of the week?
My client, no, not possible.
Can you
The reason
file
I'm
it?
asking for 45 days is because they've retained an architect and they've retained an engineer, but you can't get it, well, they can't get it done. Otherwise, I would have done it already.
So that's what we're after, Mr. McMahon. We're after truth, right? I know how long it takes to file something if the plans are ready to go. But if you're telling me you got to get an architect, you got to get an engineer.
No, I said
then
they
we gotta
have, I said they have an architect and they have an engineer.
Okay.
And we have a preliminary site plan that's already been granted for the project.
So when can you file the final site
I
plan?
can't, counsel, I can't tell you that.
I know you can't. That's why it's what we're after. We're after the filing of the final site plan, apparently after 15 years.
Well, so that's a little unfair because phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 were approved, done, all the community benefits that were required under the amendment were provided, down, cross every T, dot every I. I was part of that whole thing. It was all done. You couldn't, I guess you could have, but nobody was building phase 4 while they were building phase 1, 2, and 3 because they were using it as a staging area because the pad is a tight area. It's a tight neighborhood. So the land that we're talking about now was used as a staging area, office trailers for construction, all kinds of things during that time.
Granted,
Parking for the
granted.
neighborhood.
I'm not
Parking
going to
for the
ask, but
neighborhood
how'd
to
you get the
replace the street
CO?
parking.
I would have never gave you more than a TCO.
Well, there's no
personally.
redevelopment agreement in place. There's a site plan approval. So you counsel, you wouldn't have been able to withhold the CO because I think Matt's somewhat wrong. The projects aren't
I may have
really-
done the deal differently,
You may have, but the city didn't.
But here we are.
In 2009, the city didn't do the deal.
but it's
differently.
2026. We went through a global pandemic, council.
And my client built phase 1, 2, and 3 during
sold them.
And during the pandemic. Well,
And
they
sold
delivered
them.
the community benefits that were required.
Except the 32 units.
Except 32 units.
So when am I getting my 32 units? That's my question. That's the question. And the answer is,
Give me 45,
we haven't filed
Give
it.
me 45 days and I'll come back. I'm telling you, I believe I can come back with a final site plan application. You're asking me that question? That's what I've been sent here to tell you.
Which is fair on your part, counsel.
I'm just advocating for a client, counsel, but that's what I'm told. I have a meeting tomorrow with Tanya and Matt. I'm not sure how the meeting's going to go at this point.
So
but
here's my legal advice to my board. Chairman, board, you can grant the request to carry. there is no additional testimony that could be provided with respect to the one-year extension. You know what the facts are. You've heard what any witness is going to say as to why they want the extension. So you can either grant Mr. McCann's extension request, give him 45 days, in which case he's going to seek a one-year extension and maybe file the final site plan application, or you can deny the one-year request and we all can let whatever that means mean. I don't know that it necessarily bars him from filing the site plan application. I can't answer that as we sit here. It may. He may have to file for preliminary and final and start anew.
Thank you,
But
counsel.
I would just say to you, isn't it better to keep a fire under my client by keeping this alive rather than letting it fall by the wayside and taking any deadline?
Well, Mr. McCann, I think that's going to be up to the board.
Yes, I'm just
and
suggesting
no, I appreciate that.
if
And,
the goal is to get the 32-unit building approved, it might be a better answer from your perspective to give them the 45 days. In light of the fact I'm standing here telling you, I think I could show up with a final site plan application and filed site plan application.
You could always do that. You could.
I could, they could, but
It is phase 4.
you're taking the deadline out now. So
You haven't hit the deadline.
15 years.
And
I
by
mean,
you,
you're
I
taking the
mean the
deadline out of
client.
your, if you deny this,
When does the extension run from? When did it expire?
December.
Aren't we passed it already?
yeah, December.
So it sounds like they blew the deadline already.
The amendment to the redevelopment plan was the exploration resolution for the amendment to the redevelopment plan was denied, I think, in December, around
Denied.
the same time. Well, the city council didn't vote to study the amendment. They voted against it.
Okay, commissioners, thank you, Mr. Alampi, thank you for that added information. Do we have any questions from the board?
Matt, I would like to hear your take on this.
The staff, we authored a memo where we laid out some of the background site summary that I explained in testimony. It's dated February 6, 2026. In that memo, staff recommends denial of this extension request.
Okay. Is there anybody here from the public that wants to speak? Anyone?
Chair, see no one from the public. I would like to close the public portion.
Okay, the public is now closed. And I think, unless you have anything else to add?
I think council does wanna say
Council,
one other
please.
thing.
Just to be clear,
Please.
I'm not asking for the extension. I'm just asking for the adjournment.
That is clear.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
I think we're all clear on that, right? guys?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification. Matt, I think we know what you want to say, but do you have anything else to say? Staff, okay? I think
No,
you've said
thank
it.
you,
So
Acting
Chairman,
Chair.
I think, depending on how the board wants to move, there's a request to carry the matter. That has to be addressed first, whether we grant that request or not. Council will react to that, and we give him the opportunity to react to that and say whatever he needs to say on the record. And then, if it's granted, we all move on. If not, I will advise the board what their next step may be at that point. So why don't we address that first?
Perfect, thank you for that. So we would, right now, we're looking for a motion to grant or not grant. Initially, that's our initial step.
Right.
So I'll leave it up to the,
Grant or not grant the adjournment request for 45 days, which council is, you fill in the word, promising, representing, hoping,
Stating.
stating
okay?
that he may file a site plan application, final site plan application.
So I'll entertain any motion that the board would like to make.
Chair would like to make a motion not to grant the 45 days extension for 352 Luis Munoz Boulevard, Marine Boulevard.
So a motion to deny the request to carry the application.
Correct.
Second.
So I have a motion to deny the request and a second. So if we can take a vote on that.
And a affirmative is to deny the request to carry.
Acting Vice Chair Ganganon,
Aye.
Commissioner Wick,
Aye.
Commissioner Stamato, Commissioner Patel,
Aye.
Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So council, we are now going to entertain the request for a one-year extension. Is there anything else you'd like to add or proffer as to why we should grant that extension?
Yes. The extension request is a request to extend and grant relief from the requirement that my client file a final site plan application previous to that extension, which they haven't done. But I still think that the board should grant the one-year extension because it will incentivize my client to actually file the final site plan extension. I think that if there's no adjournment and no extension, it's kind of defeating the purpose of what this board is looking for and what the planning staff is looking for, which is the filing of a final site plan application. And again, I would just point out that my client has satisfied every other community benefit requirement for the past 15 years, and they've been some of the most significant ones ever provided in the city. They didn't just deliver a theater, they delivered the money to run a theater. They created the board to run the theater, and they turned it all over. And I understand that that's how they got the approval to build the buildings they did, and I understand this is all part of the same thing. But they've carried through every other one. I think they can still carry this last one through. I think it would be beneficial to grant them the extension to everybody.
Thank you, council. So Chairman, at this point, the board can entertain a motion as to whether or not to grant that one-year extension. It's completely within the discretion of the board. You have Mr. Ward's position on the matter.
We do, and thank you very much for that, council. I will entertain a motion.
Chair would
Either
like to
one.
make a motion to deny the extension.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
And
Acting Vice-
again,
And
a
affirmative.
yes vote is to deny.
Acting Vice Chair Ganganon,
Yes, my vote is aye. I would like to see the final site plan, which has not been filed as yet, which is such an important phase to this whole project here. 32 units of workforce is really, really needed in Jersey City. So I think, Mr. McCann, your client needs to work on this ASAP. Thank you.
Commissioner Wick,
Aye.
Commissioner Stamato, Commissioner Patel, Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Commissioner, my fellow Commissioner, Vice Chair, Acting Vice Chair Ganganon. It's been a long time, and things happen. Mayors come and go, but this is just. I think we've been super patient with that. So I'm going to go ahead and vote aye to deny.
On a motion to deny, motion carries.
Thank you, as always. I appreciate the time you put in on this. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mr.
Counsel.
McCann. Okay, I think we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Let's, so the next case is going to be 87 Bright Street. Councils, you guys can get set up, and we'll start as soon as,
10 minutes, so it's going to be at 6:40. We'll be back. Thank you, guys.
Tired already, man?
Oh. Okay. I don't know that we need counsel.
Probably not.
Yeah, I know, right? There he is. Okay, sir. Let me call case P2024-0088 as our next application for amendment to previous approval. P18-120, address is 87 Bright Street.
So Chairman, just before we do that, thank you, counsel. If you could just step aside. Mr. McCann, on case P2024-0182, 200 Chapel Avenue, and 2024-0229, also in connection with Chapel Avenue. That matter's being carried to the March 10th meeting. So if anybody's here for that case is going to be on the March 10th meeting. Both those cases, 182 and 229. So rather than have Mr. McMahon sit through this application, I just wanted to extend that courtesy to Mr. McMahon. March 10th, and to the public, of course.
So carried with preservation of notice.
It's carried with preservation of notice, counsel.
Both of those cases.
Both of those cases.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. And this is for, on the agenda, 12B and 12C. Okay, sir.
All right, good evening. Stephen Joseph, Cassano Quigley Cherami. I do have a colleague here this evening. Put your appearance on.
Good evening, Skylar Abbott of the firm Castano Quigley Cherami.
All right, so we're going to pick things up where we left off, but I think we should just confirm everybody has either watched the videos or read the transcripts from all the prior hearings.
So why don't we do some housekeeping? Counsel, if you'd like to come up and place your appearance on the record, I think that's appropriate at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Ann Studholm from Post Pollock, and I'm appearing on behalf of the Operate Van Vorst. It's a homeowners association of next door building.
Thank you, counsel. So, board members, as you know, this matter has been pending for quite some time. There have been 4 hearings with respect to the matter. Those hearings began. The first hearing date was September 24th, 2024. The second hearing date was March 11th, 2025. The third hearing was April 22nd, 2025. And the last and fourth hearing date was September 30th, 2025. At that time, we heard various witnesses, 2 witnesses in particular. So tonight, I just want to confirm that anybody that was not available at one of those hearings has read that transcript, and anybody or watched the video with respect to any of the hearings that they may have missed, and we just certify on the record that we have heard and or read all 4 or obviously participate in those hearings. So Tanya, I think it's appropriate to go just one by one, given the length of time and the fact that they've gone on for 4 hearings, and we can start with the Vice Chair Gangadin.
Vice Chair Gangadin, do you certify that you've read or watched the transcripts from the previous hearings?
Yes.
Commissioner Wick,
Yes.
Commissioner Stamato, Commissioner Patel, and Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
I certify yes.
Okay, all commissioners are up to date and are ready to hear new testimony.
Great.
Now, also, counsel, for purpose of the record, I have exhibits A1 through A8 having been marked and B1 and B2 having been marked. So that's the official record thus far, and obviously the various documents submitted. So with that, we had left off with I don't want to butcher his last name. George was the witness that was testifying at the last hearing.
Correct, and we're going to recall him. There were some direct questions from the board, and we're going to answer those quickly, and then cross-examination from there. So, George, if you want to come on up. Just confirm your license is still in good standing.
George Weiner, AIA architect, licensed architect in the state of New Jersey.
You swear any testimony you give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Mr. Wenner, we've certified you in the past, and your license is still current
Yes, that's correct.
and in good standing. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So, what we have up on the screen now, we'll enter this as A9, I believe. This is a 72-page document. This was submitted at least 10 days prior to this hearing, after we were in receipt of some opposition documents. And this includes several Hoboken Building Department permit documents, some photos of the property, plans of the project that were presented by James, and the ones that were previously on the portal with the stamp, the documents related to the easement, and the documents related to the resolution. The idea with this exhibit is we don't have to switch around between other stuff on the portal. This incorporates everything that we need for purposes tonight.
So, Mr. Joseph, A9 includes some of the documents that have either already been marked as well as documents that have been submitted. Is that a fair statement?
Correct, and there's several documents that were not previously submitted. that are
Okay,
in this
so
package.
Counsel, do you have any issue with this that is being marked as A9? My only request is that we have it indexed, since it's 72 pages and there are going to be, I don't believe that it's one document. I believe it's been put together for ease of reference.
Correct.
But I just want to make sure that in the event that we have to reference it, we're able to articulate, right, what is the 72 pages.
Correct. Yeah. So we could, as we're talking about it, we could reference it by page number. It's not the intention to go through this entire package
That's
page
my
by
fear.
page. That's not what we're looking to do. It's just they're here in case we need to reference something at some point. But as we're talking about documents, we will reference the page number of
A9.
Of A9.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So for purposes of the record, A9 is a 72-page slide deck. Are we able to date the entire thing as 2/10/26 as it states on the screen?
I have no objection to that.
Okay. And counsel, at the conclusion of tonight, I am going to ask that we get an index for it and just break
absolutely.
it out. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
A9.
Wonderful. So, George, let's start with one of the questions from the board last time, which is with regard to the variation request. There was a form that was previously submitted. There was a box on the form that was not checked off, and there were some questions about that. Pages 1 and 2 of A9 are in reference to that. Page 1 is a letter from the Hoboken Building Department, and page 2 is a corrected form with the box checked. If you can explain what happened there and these two documents, and Jeff could move between the pages as you need. Just let him know where you need him to go. So we're only dealing with pages 1 and 2 of A9.
We submitted a request for variance, which was approved on 3/15/24. Prior to that, we had met with the building department, both the fire code official as well as the building code official, and evolved the plan that was finally constructed, approved and constructed. This is a clarification that shows how the Mario Petrino, the chief building code official, neglected to check the box, although they all signed off on the approval for the variation. This is a variation to conform as close as possible to an FTO3 secondary egress for the building.
Which you testified to last time. And Jeff, if we could just show just page 2, which is that form with the box checked at the bottom that says grant. And so, George, it's your testimony that the letter from Mario, along with this form, corrects that error, and it was just an oversight on part of Hoboken Building Department.
Yes, as his letter explains.
Okay. So, Jeff, the next thing we want to go to is the plan that was prepared by George. So this is page 14 of A9. This is a plan that was prepared by George, and he'll say a few words about this, but this is in direct response to the board's questions regarding measurements and dimensions of the easement area and the fire escape. So first, George, I guess please confirm that you prepared this document and you believe what's depicted here, the measurements, to be accurate.
Yes, I went on site and personally did the measurements, field measurements. This is tantamount to a platform table, which has 4 posts. They are 3 inches square, steel posts with footings below each of them. There is a 24-inch wide stair with railings on both sides that go down to grade from that. And then there is a drop ladder going up from that up to a small platform or balcony at the 3rd floor level. The distance from the 3rd floor to grade is 21 feet. The simplest solution would have been a drop ladder. A drop ladder cannot exceed 12 feet under the FTO3 guidelines. Hence, this particular solution, which we have done in about 5 projects in Hoboken over the years, where there are very limited space. In this case, we had no space. This is an easement. And the Board of Education needed to approve it, which they in fact finally did.
And George, I do just want to note, and if you could confirm, the door at the ground level swings in. It does not swing out into the easement area, correct?
Yes, so we maintain a minimum of 3 feet, actually 3'2", to be able to get from one part of the property above through underneath, below. And further, there are exterior lights that were not there before. This makes them for a more safe solution.
And George, I'm not going to reference another page of A9, but just one more question. You've been at all these hearings, you've seen all the documents, you've seen all the testimony. This fire escape that's proposed, that you designed in conjunction working with Hoboken, this was not a result of any of the changes to the plan from what was originally approved, correct? This was, even on the original approved plan, without any of the changes being presented before this board, this is still the solution.
Yes, I have to say that based on a couple of years now of really looking at this, I believe this is the safest and the most life safety solution that we have been able to do for this property. And in fact, it's not the first of its kind.
Thank you, George. So that concludes our recall for George.
Thank you.
Council, is there what I'm unclear of is this drawing, is there a title block on it?
We did this as a follow-up, and I can produce that. I do have a title block on a hard copy that I have in my possession.
But it's an as-built, it's to scale. It was prepared by you, sir?
Yes.
It was prepared after the fire escape was installed? Yes?
Correct. Correct.
And it was prepared in order to present it to this body here this evening? Is that a fair statement?
Yes, that is a fair statement.
So this was not submitted as part of the variation application to Hoboken?
It is similar to what was, but this is, once the contractors were on site, they needed to make a few adjustments so that they could incorporate the
George,
footings, for example.
You were asked to do this by our team after the last hearing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, was there a drawing that was submitted with the application for a variation? Yes or no?
Yes.
And that was not attached to the application for the variant that was submitted to us?
No, that was not. That was what was submitted here was the final approval of that. I believe the construction drawings are what accompanied the application for the variation, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the construction drawings are what the variation accompanied. And what was presented before this board this evening was the final
Understood.
Final approval of that.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the board? Anyone? Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Sir, hold on.
No. Yeah.
Counsel.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much again. And again, just walking backward, Mr. Lampy anticipated a question I had. Now I have another one. Do you know whether this board was ever presented with drawings of this fire escape thing that it reviewed in the course of its review of the plans for this building, whether before or when this amended application was filed?
I don't know. I focused on getting plans through the building department.
That's, okay, thanks. I just wanted to clear that up. Then I've got something, I actually have no objection to A9 and the 70.
Counsel, is that mic on?
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
Closer, sorry. I have no objection to doing it this way, get an index, that would be great. I don't actually know all the 72 pages. I want to show him a couple of drawings because Mr. Joseph said, I don't have to go into the rest of them. I just want to ask Mr. Wenner, because again, they're not signed, if he recognizes them, what they were drawn for. They definitely were and still are on the portal. I just don't have personal knowledge as to what's in the 72 pages. So
So, Counsel, are those drawings that you got
I
off of the
personally
portal?
did not get them. My client got them from the portal.
Okay.
And you can verify that if you would like her to on the record.
If we could reference what page number in the PDF these are, and then we could know what we're looking
I
at.
have no idea.
What she doesn't know that is what she's
These two.
saying, right?
You said there were more in A9 that you weren't going to ask him about. I think I have them in my hand here, and my
So-
client can verify them. She just handed them.
So
to
we're
me.
so the line of questioning is to ask George questions about something he didn't just testify to.
Correct.
And we don't know where they are in this
Yes,
set.
we do. She can verify them. They're
Okay,
still on
but-
the portal.
Oh,
Sure.
but wait a minute, Counsel. You just presented this 72-page document and marked it as A9, and then didn't go through the entire document. So Counsel may have page 49 in her hand.
Sure. No, I'm not. I would like to know what page it is and see.
You
if
didn't
it's-
give us an index. Can you look at the drawing and tell us what page it is in your 72-page document?
So that appears to be.
On one thing,
Sure, we could go through page. So we could go.
you can find which page it is in A9 now.
Sure. On the PDF, each one of them is labeled with a page number. That does appear to be James Cornell's drawings.
They look like they're by the same guy. The lettering's all the same, the scale's all the same.
this?
Yes.
So let's do this. Counsel, do you have any objection to those documents being shown to the witness?
No, I don't have any objection
Okay.
to that.
Sir, if you could look at those, and then you can tell Mr. Lewis what page of A9 they are, and he can show all of us.
Yes.
So it might just be the next page.
It may be.
It doesn't seem to be.
There were 3 pages that I did. One was a plan of the third floor. One is a plan the grade, this prior submission, and then what was a section elevation.
Okay.
Okay. So this.
Stop.
Sorry.
Mr. Lewis?
I'm not gonna be able to find it, I'm sorry.
If it's
You
gonna
want
be
me to?
discussed,
Yeah.
we would like to see it.
You want me to?
Yeah. Let's
You have
go
to.
back to
Yeah.
that page.
Okay.
Hold on. In that section. Sorry. So do you know around where they were? Because this moves pretty slow. Do you want to look on your computer?
No, let me get my-
Oh, they're more towards the top? I don't know. These are all the permits. No. Here, hold on, stop. Can you just go page by page? See, my thing is super slow. I know, it's frustrating. That's why I was gonna say, you wanna look on yours and see where it is? So it'll be under his drawings, right? No, George's were up there.
Yeah, this
I'm
was,
gonna pull it up on mine.
this was moved
Yeah,
from
please.
here to here. It was a field change.
So these were done recently, right? All of these were
These
done
are the
recently.
as-bills, yeah.
So when you say these are field change, so you were working off another diagram when you, because clearly the purple writing's my client, right? She obviously called
Yeah.
that too. So you did this from the field or based off another plan?
Over another plan.
Off another plan, okay. So you did this based off another plan. Do you know who did the plan that you based this off of?
Right, sure, the architect of record, Mr. Cornell.
Mr. Cornell. And so when you realized that there was, whatever this little thing.
We had originally no basket here,
Ah, okay.
all right? In the field, we made a field decision to move the drop ladder here because it made less impact and to have a small basket here.
A small basket. And so that's not shown on this, but it is shown on this. I don't see
it.
This
Yeah.
drawing, this plan. put
So
in here.
these drawings are not within this Exhibit A9. The
This-
ones that are being presented. Those were not submitted as part of this Exhibit A9.
But
Okay.
I'll have her authenticate them. They were on the portal, and according to her, they are on the portal. And I'm talking to Mr. Weiner. It sounds as if, and again, I don't want to testify. I want to put him. to
So
the-
let's do this.
Proffer.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Do we know which PDF on the portal it is? Okay.
It's called. Well, I really should have you come up and authenticate this. Just read.
Well, she'd have to be sworn in. Why don't you hand it to me,
Okay.
and I will tell you what it's called on the portal,
Or I can read it for you.
okay? Other fire escape resubmission 11/20/25. Uploaded December 1st, 2025. Cam, are you able to pull that up? Okay.
We're uploading the attachment and filling the computer.
Okay. Correct.
They're saying it's a separate file
That you uploaded previously to the portal.
that was submitted previously on the portal. that
Yes.
wasn't tested recently.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here, counsel. It is called Other Fire Escape Resubmission 11/2025, 87 Bright V1, uploaded December 1st, 2025. And for the record, counsel, I printed it as well.
Yes, and right now it's on the portal.
So.
Can we show it on the screen?
No,
That's a big ask.
No, I know. We're trying to. Every time we're loading it, it's kind of because the internet's not really working with us.
Still on the portal.
Where's the plug-in? No.
Is this in the A9? Do you know? Is this this somewhere in the 72 pages? Do you know?
Probably,
Is it gonna work?
because these are the only 3 pages that I prepared.
Well, the problem is we got to be able to show it to the public.
But we don't have the plug here. Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at something else. We're gonna have to separately mark this, because you're looking at it. So the witness is looking at yet another document that apparently has never been uploaded.
Well, I don't
That-
know that. It wasn't
Oh.
part of it. Yes.
Okay, well, someone on your side has to know. Was this with the seal on it ever
I don't know
uploaded?
what-
Because
yeah, I
it's
don't-
different from this.
I
Why don't we
know
do
what you're
this?
pointing at.
Mr. Joseph, take the papers away from the witness. Okay. You had a question about something very specific in your hand.
I did.
My problem is I have to be able to see it myself, which I can do, but now I also have to allow the public to see it.
Exactly.
So we're getting there.
Yep, we're getting there. Were you able to see this on there? I plugged in. It's not coming up.
Now nobody can see anything, and we're just off we go.
Better be a good question, counsel.
Be good. I'm not trying to confuse him. I just had one question about this, and then he's looking at yet another version of it, and I want to make sure that when he's answering me off what I have in my hand, and if his is different, he can talk about that. I don't want to stop him from talking.
I do.
What he was just trying to tell me was there was a change, and I want him to be able to talk intelligently about the change.
I want to get to questions that move the needle.
Well, my first question for him was, did you do this from life? No, I did it from a plan. From a plan that was done by who? By Cornell.
Yes.
Okay.
Just don't touch it.
This is the,
No, they're not letting me.
so this is the, sorry. Other fire escape resubmission. That's the one we're talking about, and I pulled this up. So
All right.
this is what it is.
Marking it as 01, counsel, even though you have other exhibits that you've marked with the number.
Oh, we do. We
O.
have other exhibits we've marked 01 through 013.
All
Could
right.
you mark it like 1.0 or something, or 1.01 or whatever we do when we make a new lot from a subdivision so we won't get screwed up?
We're going to mark it as 0.0A.
Okay, perfect. 0.0A.
Just for fun.
Okay, I'm writing down mine.
Okay, which page? Because apparently
Okay.
it is multiple pages.
He has testified. Page 1 of 0.0A
Is on the screen.
is
Can you see it?
It is on the screen, and yes, it is the original of what they were just talking about, where they checked the box. This is the original one without the box checked. So we talked
Previously
about
marked
that.
A4.
Previously marked A4. Okay. The next page is, as I understand it, the one that is page 14 of A9, and Mr. Wiener has testified about that. The next one says as-built third floor. And as I was about to ask him about it, he said, oh, yes, that's mine. But then he pulled out one that's different and that actually has a mistake, the difference between real life and this supposedly as-built that my client noticed that she's going to talk about, but I want to give him a chance. He pulled out yet another one that is apparently not on the portal and has never yet been introduced into evidence. It's very similar to this, and it has his seal on it, and it shows the difference. So I'd like to give him a chance to say what the difference is between this third page of O.OA that I have in my hand and whatever it was that he was looking at that is apparently closer to real life.
We have no intention of introducing any other exhibits aside from what's been submitted to the portal and A9. George is certainly not going to enter any notes or anything he may have that's not on the record.
Okay, so what is the question about the
Okay.
exhibit that's on the screen? Which is?
It will be, it's not this one, it'll be the next page.
Right.
Okay, So, Mr. Weiner, you should probably be next to the microphone. You're the witness. I know it seems like I'm the witness, but I'm really not trying to be. So, do you see this page that I have in my hand? Is that the same one that's on the screen? Okay. And it has marked, my client has marked some things on it that she's going to talk about. I guess if I'm next to him, you guys can hear me through this, right? And I understand that you have in your possession, but for whatever reason your client does not want you to mark or introduce, an improved, revised, updated version of what I have in my hand. Is that correct, sir?
That's reasonable.
Okay. But we are not going to get a chance to see that. Is that correct?
I just moved the ladder.
Okay. Can you talk about the difference between what I am holding in my hand and what you were looking at, and then we're going to get into the genesis of each of the documents.
So we're asking questions about something that's not in evidence.
Are you objecting, counsel?
I'm objecting.
Okay. So now you're going to object to this particular question. What's the basis of the objection?
That we're asking questions about facts and documents that are not in evidence.
And have not been produced.
Have not been produced.
If we could go back to the prior
That's it.
submission, our
Sir.
submission,
George.
I can explain.
He can explain. I mean, that's what. So here's
Usually when there's an objection, the attorneys start addressing the objection and witnesses wait for the attorneys to object, right? So you will get a chance, counsel. We're going to pretend like we're doing this for real. So, Mr. Joseph, is that the extent of your objection?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel, do you have a rebut to the objection?
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Which is that the witness clearly has a document in his possession that he feels is preferable and more honest to the truth.
That is not an accurate statement.
Well, I don't know. Let me ask him.
Well,
Does he have?
he's
a document?
stated that he has other documents in his working file and that he is not going to be introducing them in this hearing.
Okay.
That's counsel's prerogative, what he introduces in the hearing
Okay.
out of a witness's file.
So when I say, "Hey, you have a mistake here, right?" I guess you have to say,
Well, but wait,
What do you
let's
say?
finish
You have a
dealing with the
mistake here,
objection. So the objection is sustained. We can't ask questions about the specific document. We agree. Next question. Sir, we're looking at this exhibit 0.0A. Your drawing with respect to the as-built on the third floor. Question, does it contain a mistake?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Explain the mistake, sir.
A field decision was made to move the drop ladder from where it is shown in this plan, 90 degrees to the side. It's a drop ladder, and therefore that would make it less obtrusive to the people on that second floor balcony. It was simple. It didn't change the substantive function of going down a drop ladder to the platform, and it was a field change made because it was a safer solution.
But so then this as-built is not accurate.
Correct.
Okay. Why am I looking at a drawing that's not accurate? Counsel.
well,
Not you, counsel.
not me, counsel.
You're doing a great job.
There is a reason why George did not testify to this particular drawing, why we resubmitted A9, which did not include this, because there was a mistake on it.
It doesn't work that way, counsel. You know that. There was a mistake, fine. He knows there's a mistake, fine. But we're not going to introduce what the actual as-built in the field is when we're here because we've done things that were not what was approved by the board?
We also have
I wouldn't go with that idea.
This evening, an architect to talk. George was brought up and recalled to answer some very specific questions that
But he
the board
hadn't been
had.
cross-examined yet. He was called up to finish his testimony to address the concerns of the board that he was not prepared to address at that point in time. So he prepared as-bills. And then you submitted those as-bills. And then he realized that one of the as-bills wasn't accurate. Happens. He corrected it. For some reason, it wasn't submitted I'll even look past that. But now you're objecting to it even coming out. I can't understand that. Why would we talk about something that isn't what was done in the field?
This wasn't what George was testifying to. I didn't see the correction. This is not what he was testifying
He
to.
was testifying to the fire escape, counsel.
He was testifying to the fire escape, and we
That
presented
he
the
designed.
accurate. We presented the accurate plan in A9.
Sir, is that correct or is that incorrect? Because I just thought you said that what was depicted in A9, which was the sheet before this, had an inaccuracy in it. Did you not testify to that?
Yes.
So it was incorrect.
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay. All right.
I thought the
But
mistake
this
was
is
on
now
his part.
incorrect.
That's
accurate.
accurate. Yes.
Okay. Not curing cancer here, just trying to get accuracy. Counsel, do you want to reconsider introducing the correct drawing?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Is there any way you happen to have the correct drawing on the
We
computer?
don't have a digital version of the correct drawing. We don't.
You can take a photograph of it now and upload it. He's got it right in his hand. And it's got a seal on it, which is nice.
Can we just show one of the pictures that would show that? We have photos showing the correct.
We could have George describe where the inaccuracy is on the plan.
That's
Chairman,
not
we're
gonna
not
work.
doing that.
We're not gonna do that.
We're not doing that. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. I'm here for an amendment to a plan, and I'm still not looking at what's out in the field. How do you move forward, Chairman? I don't know. I don't know, counsel. I can't move forward.
No.
I just can't do it. All right. Can we need a new date?
We have 2 more witnesses this evening.
Counsel, we're looking at
Yeah.
inaccurate drawings,
Yeah.
inaccurate as-bills.
I mean, at this point, I think my board would be confused with anything that you put up on our screen. I mean, it's already confusing to most of us who, I've been here for 15 years. I don't think I've ever seen this.
I've never seen this.
18 years. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how the board feels, but I don't feel like we can move forward really at all here.
So it's
Board?
this, right? This
I don't think so
letter
either,
here
and
with the
for
basket.
any document to be reintroduced,
describe it through
the
here.
public needs to have a look at it as well.
Every meeting, there's something new comes up, and, you know, just
Some
keeps
people
going
see
on.
pictures better. Worth asking
Yeah.
at this point.
Totally confused.
Okay.
Agree. Wait, can I add one more?
Absolutely.
Please.
Maggie updated her memo.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like there's still inconsistencies.
Yes.
And they're going to comply with the sign. I can tell you
Yes,
that.
that's what the memo says. The memo says that
Yeah,
the
that's
sign
gonna
is
happen.
still.
And that's been our testimony. We're not seeking an amendment for the sign.
How's April looking?
I'd have to look at our calendar to see.
We do.
I haven't even thought about spring.
It's April spring?
It is.
Think this snow will have melted? I don't think so either.
Council, we'll need a motion to,
We're carrying. We're just going to
carry,
get the date in April. That's when it's going to be. And councils,
Is
the
it-
three of
can we
us are
do
going to have a
March 10th?
conference call.
Can we at least
this
carry
week.
March 10th? You don't want to do March 10th?
No, April. We got other
It
problems. in
would be
March.
April 14th.
April 14th.
I have to check with my co-counsel. We have a potential 2-week trial starting April 4th. So I'm going to have to check with him. He may be able to dispense with me at night. I presume he will be able to, but I've got to check with that. I'm sorry.
Can we get on a conference on Thursday or Friday this week?
Yes.
I want exhibit lists. I want you guys to speak and confer. I mean, this is... All right, April 14th. This matter is being carried to April 14th. There's not going to be any further notice of that. If you're here and you're wanting to continue to participate, April 14th. Thank you.
thank you. All right, guys, we're going to do a 5-minute break.
Hey, long time no see. How's it going? What are you here for? Oh. Did I know that you were working on it? Did you say that? No. He was only going to do an hour regardless. Just put his testimony on, and finish his case out. I'm sorry, before I forget. If you go on to the agenda, the link for the extension, go in
To order here. Oh, okay, well, we'll figure that out. Before I go to the next case, guys, I just want to remind everyone that on the agenda is 12B is next, but we're carrying that one. That is case P 2024-0182. That is 200 Chapel Avenue, and that's been carried to March 10th. And then the next one after that is 12C, and also case P 2024-0229. That is also the Pulte Homes of New Jersey Limited Partnership associated with Chapel. That's also been carried to March 10th. So now we're on to new business.
Acting Chair.
Yes, please.
I have received correspondence from Mr. Joseph, and
Okay.
he has requested to carry all of his remaining cases for the evening.
Okay.
And I can run through the list.
Please do.
Okay, so the first item that he's carrying would be item 15. This is 565 Communipal Avenue, preliminary and final major site plan with C variances and a conditional use to March 24th. Then item 16, case P 2024-0111. This is a minor subdivision with C variances at 86 to 92 Ocean Avenue. They are carrying with preservation of notice to February 24th. And then the two cases following that are affiliated with it. That's items 17 and 18. Case P 2024-0112, a minor site plan at 90 Ocean Avenue. They are requesting to carry with preservation of notice to February 24th. And case item 18, case P 2024-0113. This is a minor site plan at 86 Ocean Avenue. Also a minor site plan carrying with preservation of notice to February 24th. Given the size of these applications, we're putting them at the next meeting, and we're going to get through a bunch of these minor site plans. And yes, thank you, Commissioner Patel. You're correct. There is one more minor site plan. It's case P22, item 22, case P 2025-113, a minor site plan at 208 Thorn Street. And they've also requested carry with preservation of notice. We're going to do February 24th. We're going to have a bottom-heavy minor site plan caseload at February 24th.
So Cameron, here's what I need from you. I see some fine people in the audience. What's left on the agenda?
So we have.
Does anybody else want to carry?
There are only 2 cases left on the
Oh, right.
agenda. Yeah, it's 115 Giles and it's 480 Washington. So that would be item 14 and item 28, I believe. Yeah, 28. 14 and 28 are the only 2 cases left.
Thank you, Cameron. Okay. On that note, let me call my next case. This is case P2024-0219, number 14 on our agenda. The address is 115 Giles Ave. This is for a preliminary and final major site plan. And Mr. Harrington.
Yes, good evening. For the record, Charles Harrington of Connell Foley on behalf of the applicant. I do have the notices that I'd like to provide to council.
Thank you, counsel. Chairman, I see the affidavit of publication proof of mailing with respect to the application at 115, 111 Giles Ave and 110 Wales Ave. It's block 9203, lots 1, 2, and 4. Does appear to be in order. We're going to mark it as A1 for purpose of the record.
Thank you, counsel.
Okay, thank you. So just give a brief overview of the project. This property or this project is a result of the creation of the Fayette Broadway redevelopment plan. If the board recalls, we had another project within the last 6 to 8 months before this board for the Van Wagenen that it fronted on Van Wagenen, Tunnelly Avenue. So this is the kind of the sister project, if you will. So it's been in development for some time, probably a good 3 years. We have created this through coordination with the planning department and the community. That's what led to us creating the redevelopment plan and the zoning that was in place. So it was form-based zoning to create this project. So we're here tonight to seek the site plan approval. We are using the affordable housing overlay as part of this project, and the reason for that is this project it's 440 units per acre, but that was like kind of the initial project that wasn't struck quite honestly during the final drafts, and like this, the other project was based upon the box, how many units you can put within it, but that being said, we're still the same size project, so we're proposing 490 units. There'll be 10% of those will be affordable units consistent with the IZO. So 49 affordable units as part of this. You'll see we have on-site parking within a garage as well. And as part of this, similar to the other project, there's a requirement that a donation is made towards the restoration of the pedestrian bridge that crosses over the path tracks from the end of Van Wagenen over to Newark Avenue. So that was kind of the comprehensive community benefit in addition to the affordable housing element here. So, and on this project, if you're not familiar with it already, it's directly west of what we'd like to call the Pacini project, where Pacini's parking lot is located. The development is under construction now, right off of Broadway. You'll see during the presentation that the front of the building on Broadway is lower because that was a result of our back and forth with the community, specifically Mr. Manzo and his the community group down there, and working with Councilman Bogiano at the time. And then it pops up towards the back that fronts up against the path tracks and Conrail tracks. So I do have, I'll move right into the project. I'm going to start off with our engineer, Michael Nona, to get everyone familiar with the site. And then I do have an architect. We aren't requesting any variances or deviations, so there is no planner tonight. And I do have our traffic engineer in the event there's any questions about that.
Thank you, counsel.
Sounds like two witnesses.
One witness.
You swear any testimony you give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
For the record, can you state and spell your name?
Michael Nona, spelled Nona. I'm a project engineer with Stonefield Engineering and Design, located at 92 Park Avenue in Rutherford, New Jersey. I am a professional engineer. My license is current and good standing. I've testified in front of multiple boards, including this one, and been accepted as an expert witness.
Mr. Nona, you are qualified.
Thank you.
Okay, Michael, if you'd take us through the site and for the benefit of the board.
Can plug in here. This is what I'm pulling up on the screen. Was submitted in April of this year. It's on the portal.
So this is not a new slide deck. This is your plans that are on the portal, correct?
Correct. This is not a new exhibit. This is just a colorized rendering of the site plan submitted as part of the application package, and this was submitted in April of 2025.
What was submitted was not colorized?
Oh, this one was colorized. The colorized version was also submitted.
It was, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So for the record, this is labeled Site Plan Rendering Exhibit, dated April 22nd, 2025.
Thank you.
So Mr. Harrington kind of ran you through the history of the project. This site is what we're proposing is a 17-story mixed-use development building, which has 4 frontages. To the south is Broadway. To the east is Giles Avenue, which we're considering the main frontage. To the rear is Fayette Place, and to the west is Wales Avenue. We're proposing 490 dwelling units, as well as about 6,300 square feet of retail space. The underlying zone, which was R3 and R1, split the property kind of down the middle as part of the redevelopment plan. That we are now in the Fayette Broadway redevelopment plan area, and the site does comply with all zoning regulations set forth in that redevelopment. The existing site is about 1.07 acres. It's 43,800 square feet. On site, there's an existing daycare as well as a construction yard. It's 2, kind of 3 buildings fronting Broadway. There's the 3-story masonry building, and then there is a larger buildings that are connected on Giles and Wales, which are currently being used as basically construction storage and for large equipment. In the proposed condition, the 17-story building complies with height regulations, all zoning regulations. We're proposing a 97.7 building coverage on the ground floor. It reduces as you go up. In both the existing and proposed, the site is 100% impervious. Parking is provided on the ground floor through a combination of mechanical parking spaces as well as regular ground floor parking. Our proposed access drive is on Giles Avenue. We've received a traffic memorandum, or a review letter from the traffic department. We're agreeing to comply with all of the comments set forth, except one deviation where we would like to continue with is the driveway access on Giles. There were conversations about moving the driveway access to the Wales Avenue. We think it's best to keep it on Giles because there are single-family residential homes on Wales, and this way it'll keep the majority of the traffic away from those homes between the 2 proposed apartment buildings.
And just for the benefit of the board, that was a comment that was made or requested from planning at the initial review of this proposed development. We actually had the access going out into Wales, and planning had requested that it be moved over to Giles because of that, because of the 1 and 2 family homes on Wales. It was also requested by the community.
Per the redevelopment plan, we're required to provide 193 parking spaces. We are complying and providing 193 parking spaces. We are also providing 250 bicycle parking spaces where 245 are required. It's also worth noting that this development is about a 15-minute walk from the Journal Square Path Station. As far as stormwater goes, the site was, as I mentioned, 100% impervious. There were no existing stormwater management facilities on site. As part of the building, we're proposing 10,800 square feet, roughly, of green roof space, as well as a approximately 3,000 cubic foot detention tank, which will sit within the garage footprint. Due to this, the site is over an acre, therefore it is considered a major development by both the JCMUA as well as NJDEP. We're complying with all stormwater requirements set forth by providing quantity reductions. We're reducing all major storm events, the 2, 10, and 100 by 52%, 36%, 23% respectively. And we are exempt from stormwater quality treatment as well as groundwater recharge due to the fact that we're decreasing motor vehicle surface and we are in the P1 development area. Utilities on the site are all connected to public utilities. The stormwater is outletting into the existing sewer within Wales Avenue. The water will connect in Giles. There is a newly constructed water main which we're proposing to connect to. The gas connection is coming from Broadway, and we're connecting from telecom and electric from an existing pole on Wales Avenue. As far as landscaping goes, we're providing 12 new street trees, as you can see on the rendering, on Giles Avenue, Broadway, and Wales, and we're complying with Jersey City street standards. We feel that the project is a positive rehabilitation on the site by providing, more residential housing, bringing that online, providing affordable housing, providing stormwater management where none exists, as well as kind of activating a site for the public that is, historically a control yard, construction yard. We're also proposing new curb and sidewalk around the entirety of the site. If any of you guys have been to the site, you'll notice to the rear of Fayette Place is the NJ Transit corridor, a railway. We're proposing to provide new sidewalk as well as a green strip curb planter to kind of help with some of the runoff back there and activate that space for more pedestrian and vehicular traffic. I mentioned before that we have received traffic letters, or the traffic review letter. We also received the planning letter as well as a review letter from the JCMUA. We didn't see any comments that we couldn't comply with. As I mentioned, the driveway is going to remain on Giles Avenue. And as far as the JCMUA is concerned, there was one comment about replacing the water main within Giles and replacing a stormwater, replacing the sewer line within Giles. I just wanted to note that we are connecting the stormwater within Wales, so we will not be replacing the stormwater or the sewer line within Giles. And the existing water main that was going to be replaced has already been replaced by the adjacent property or the adjacent development. And I'm happy to answer any questions from the board.
Council, can we replace those?
It's already been replaced.
It's already been replaced.
The other one that we're not connecting into, that they want replaced.
Well, if the bottom line is if the JCMUA requires us to replace it, then we're going to have to replace it. Is we have to comply with their.
Yeah, we can agree to comply with, or we'll work with the JCMUA on if any infrastructure needs to be replaced or updated.
Anyone else have any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Just one additional comment before I bring up Mr. Kelly. The redevelopment plan does require that you are designated as a redeveloper and enter into a redevelopment agreement prior to construction. My client has already applied to the JCRA and been designated as the redeveloper by the JCRA, and we are in the process of finalizing the redevelopment agreement. So we're ahead of the game on that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll proceed now with Mr. Kelly.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
You swear any testimony you give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And for the record, can you state and spell your name?
Kieran Kelly, Ciarankelley.
Mr. Kelly, we've certified you before?
You
Qualified
have.
Yes, we
You have.
And everything's active and current?
It is.
License? Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, well,
You're qualified.
perfect, yes. Thank you.
And Mr. Kelly, before we start the presentation, for the record, this is a slide deck that you prepared, correct?
Correct. This is a slide deck which is composed mainly of the plans which were all submitted, but for the purpose of presentation, I have colorized some of them. I've also added some images that help just give, I guess, a little bit of color to the text.
Okay. So
Yeah, it is all previously submitted information.
It's 59
No,
slides?
No, it's not. It's 25 slides for the presentation. I also have the submitted drawings at the end just for my own reference, but I don't intend to go there unless we have questions.
We're going to mark it as A2, and we're going to identify it as a 59-slide deck.
Okay.
Understood.
But of course, we're only going to go through about 5 of them.
That's the plan.
It's the Reader's Digest version.
Okay, so with that, I'll get right into it. I think Michael did an excellent job of describing the context, but I just want to show you this image because I think it just helps illustrate. Obviously, the area outlined in red is the site itself, just a hair over 1 acre, 43,890 square feet. It's almost the entire city block, with the exception of that one corner in the southwest corner, which is the Seafarers International Union, 3-story red brick building. The rest of the property is what we're proposing to redevelop. Again, the buildings that exist on the property will be demolished. To the north, you see the NJ Transit path corridor, and beyond that, Newark Avenue. And then to the right is currently under construction, you call it the Puccini?
Puccini site.
Puccini site. I know their marketing name is the West Side Square. So I just want to show you a next image. This was sheet C 20.1 of the original submission. But since that time, it's been in the works quite a long time. A lot of these buildings are either currently under construction, or they're completed, or they're approved. And so along the top, I've just shown to illustrate the kind of nature of this new emerging neighborhood. To the south of the Pat line, to the north of Broadway, we have a series of 5 of these new buildings. I include ours in that. Hopefully we get the approval. But all the way to the right, we have 166 Van Wengen, which is the building you discussed earlier on.
That's correct.
Right at Tonley Avenue. Then we have the completed building at 161 Van Wengen. And then directly west of that, we have, I believe it's approved, although not construction has not begun, would be phase 2 of that West Side Square project called the Factory. That is 18 stories and 357 units. And then directly to our east is that West Side Square, the Puccini lot, which is 13 stories and 477 units. All of them collectively make up zones 1 through 4 of the redevelopment plan. So the project that we are proposing as described is a 17-story mixed-use building. It has 2 street-level retail spaces, 490 residential units, of which 49 or 10% are affordable units, and 193 parking spaces. The building, as dictated by the redevelopment plan, of course, is permitted to be 17 stories in the north, dropping down to 5 stories fronting on to Broadway. So the dark blue is that taller portion, the lighter blue, the 5-story portion on Broadway, turning the corner onto, and forgive me, I always say Giles. Is it Giles or is it Giles?
I'd say Giles.
Giles, okay, just I didn't want to mess it up for everybody. And then in the middle of the proposal is that it's a 1-story activated roof space, and that's above the parking podium. So this is a view from that southeastern corner, the retail space on the corner of Broadway and Giles, showing how the building steps up to the 17 stories beyond. This is the first floor plan, again colorized. The original version C7 didn't have the color. But I want to just talk a moment about the first floor plan so that everybody can get their bearings. The top right-hand corner is the main residential lobby and associated packages and mailrooms. That obviously is right at the elevator lobby and the main stair. To the bottom right-hand corner, which is the corner of Broadway and Giles, we have two retail spaces. One of them on Giles is 2,623 square feet, and the one fronting onto Broadway is 3,725 square feet. Now, the remainder of that plan is essentially taken up by the parking garage and then obviously your utility spaces and support services. But in the parking garage, off-street parking, we have 193 spaces. We're required to have 0.3 per bedroom, which works out at 192.6. We provide that. The breakdown is 168 are stacked mechanical spaces. So the spaces that we show in green are either double or triple stacked mechanical spaces, but they're semi-automated, which means that the resident has an assigned space. They always go to that same space, they pull in at grade, they exit the car safely, a gate comes down, and then the system tucks it away. But it always comes back to and is delivered to the same space, so essentially it's a familiar assigned space. There are 25 surface spaces, of which 6 are ADA spaces, 29 are EV charging spaces, and we have no compact spaces. The entire parking garage system is a two-way drive aisle, and again, the entry point is mid-block on Giles Avenue. We have an interior loading area, which is, as is required by the plan, 15 feet wide, 50 feet long. It has a minimum headroom of 15 feet, so that accommodates all of our loadings, move-ins, move-outs, trash removals. It's directly adjacent to the trash room, and it's sufficient to provide those operations off-street. On the left is a basement plan. We have very minimal basement space other than below the main lobby. We have some utility space as well as the majority of our interior bike parking spaces. By the way, we have 250 bike parking spaces in total. 190 of them are in the basement. We have 52 bike parking spaces onto Wales Avenue, just on the bottom portion of that plan, and then the remainder are on the sidewalk. Where you have areas cut out on the basement plan, those are the pits which allow us to have the sunken level of the mechanical stacked parking. This is a view of the main lobby entrance. This is the view from the corner of Giles and Fayette. So right there is the lobby, and then you can kind of see how the facade takes form, and I'll describe that in a moment. So I'll try and go quickly through the residential floor plans. This is the second floor plan. Again, colorized just so we can kind of talk to things easily. I'll break it down very simply. The purple or magenta are studios, the blues are one beds, the yellows are one beds plus dens, oranges are two beds, pinks, 2 beds plus dens, and the greens are 3-bed units. And this particular plan has 29 units on this floor. But again, it's a plan configuration that you're very familiar with. It's a double-loaded residential configuration with a central corridor. And then these all, you have units that face the street and also units which face into the courtyard. And the colored area in the center is, of course, a common access landscaped courtyard. All the units that front onto the courtyard have a buffered private outdoor space, and then you've got the common outdoor space, which is a combination of seating areas, dining, outdoor planting, and furniture. But the white areas are the indoor amenity spaces. And overall in the building, we have about 25,000 square feet of amenity space for the residents. On this floor, we have a gym and a lounge and the changing facilities for the gym. But over on the left-hand side, we also have 2 indoor pickleball courts, which was a request from the owner, but is also, as you all know, a very, very popular amenity. So we're providing that. The next floor up is actually a typical floor from floors 3 to 5. Here we have 42 units per floor. Again, the same general configuration, although in this case we're not taking away amenity space, so the entire floor are units. This is the 6th floor, and at the 6th floor, of course, we now have stepped the building back because we're restricted or we're permitted 5 floors, 60 feet on Broadway. And so at this point, we're now looking at the lower roof on the Broadway side of the building, which is primarily occupied by extensive green roof. But we also have an indoor pool amenity lounge on that level, which opens out to a outdoor common access roof deck. On this floor, we have 27 units. This is the 7th through 17th floor. This image actually shows the 7th because if you notice on the right-hand side, you'll see again the green area. That's the extensive green roof provided on the top of the pool amenity. But of the residential shown, that's typical from this floor up to the roof. Now, on this level, we have 26 units, but the total unit count for the whole building is 490 units, as said. Of that, the breakdown is 68 studios, which is 13.9%, 44 are one beds, which is 9%, 236 are one bed plus den, which is 48.2%, 90 of the units are two beds, which is 18.4%, 42 of them are two bed plus den, which is 8.6%, and finally 10 of them are three beds, which is 2%. Of the affordable units, we have 5 studios, we have 4 one beds, and we have 32 beds, and we have 10 three beds. And the affordable housing breakdown has, of course, all been reviewed and approved.
Yeah, that breakdown and the unit mix has already been approved by the Division of Affordable Housing.
So then we're above the residential floors. We're at the uppermost roof of the building. On the uppermost roof, we are permitted, we're permitted 20% of the overall roof area of the development to be an enclosed amenity space. So we have a 6,560 square foot amenity space on the roof. Now, when the plans were submitted, the intention was that was actually going to be a banquet hall, and there was talks with local community groups to allow them to use the space, but that is no longer being proposed. This is an indoor amenity lounge for the residents of the building only, so there's no public access. And the amenity lounge opens out onto it's just over 7,000 square feet of activated roof terrace on the uppermost roof. So the green area, again, more extensive green roof. In total, you'll notice there on the left-hand side, we have a total of 10,811 square feet of extensive green roof in the project. And that ties in to just mention briefly the green building elements, which is something which the redevelopment plan, of course, pushes, but something that we typically do anyway as a course of general design. But in this building, we have that extensive green roof. We have high albedo roofing, which is essentially a very light colored. It's a white TPO roof, which is highly reflective, meaning that it doesn't absorb a lot of the heat and create heat island effect. And the redevelopment plan actually says that it must be a minimum of a solar reflective index of 80, so we meet that. We have low flow plumbing fixtures, low VOC paint and carpets, Energy Star rated appliances, and of course, as described earlier, we have the stormwater detention. So then just to talk briefly about the facade design of the building, and I'll go through these slides and then show the renderings, but very simply put, it was conceived as a series of kind of stacked random boxes so that you're breaking up the overall geometry of the building, and that stacked box kind of aesthetic really reads as this kind of white geometric pattern on the facade of the building. So if I go to the overall renderings, you see this is the view from the north facing the tracks or Fayette Avenue. So you read that white kind of irregular grid pattern, and that's in I'm sorry, I have the brick type here. That is a cloud gray glazed brick by Glengarry. And then that is complemented or contrast with a darker colored brick, which is Black Hills smooth brick. And so then the Black Hills smooth is the darker brick that runs in vertical panels, and between those panels you'll see the windows for the units. You'll also notice that we are incorporating louvered PTAC units into the facade, but they're consistent and they're repetitive and they're considered in the facade design. And what that does, of course, is it allows us to free up a lot of roof area. We don't have seas of condensers on the roof. The PTACs are integrated into the facade. So that's the view from the north side. Again, this is kind of the view from the southern side, which shows the stepping or the massing of the building. And we also, as part of the submission, we introduced unit types for all of the units in the building, which all meet the requirements. We did break them down, of course, by unit type and quantities, and if anybody has questions, I can answer them, but I think I already went through the quantities of the units. We, of course, did a shadow study being very important. This shadow study looks specifically at our building. It doesn't take account of the fact, of course, that we now have a series of 5 of these buildings along. But the important thing I think to note is for the majority of the year, it actually doesn't cast that much of a shadow. It's really during the colder months or the winter months, the start of the year or the end of the year, the winter months, particularly morning or evening when, of course, the sun is lower and it casts a longer shadow. But in our case, lucky is probably the wrong word, but the existing conditions are such that we have that tracks to the north, and then we have kind of surface parking or vehicular storage and industrial lots to the north, so we don't have any impact on residential properties. And this is just the final slide of that view from the entry corner. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions.
Your recycling and your garbage, how are you handling that?
So, well, I'll go back to the first floor plan. We have indoor trash storage. On all residential floors, we have trash rooms, which accommodate both storage of trash materials, recycling materials, and also trash chutes.
Chutes, okay.
And there's trash chutes that come down to a centralized trash room on the first floor, adjacent to the lobby, but also adjacent to the loading bay. And then all of the trash collection will be done by a private haulage company, which will enter the garage, pull up in the loading bay.
Right.
All of the recycling and the trash will be loaded on the truck and then driven out. So there's no street collection.
A small, like, apartment type of compactor, or?
We have a compactor, exactly.
All right, good. Okay. I love the building.
Thank you.
Yeah, the pickleball court you said was indoor.
It is indoor.
Soundproofing on
Yeah,
that?
so it's not shown on these drawings, because I guess we consider that a construction drawing detailing thing. But yes, there will be additional soundproofing requirements designed into both the walls that surround the space, but also the floors and ceiling assemblies above and below. Now, it's going to be a concrete building, so we know that the floor and ceiling have a lot of acoustic integrity anyway. But certainly anywhere we can, we'll up the insulation, the acoustic insulation requirement in all of the surrounding walls and floors.
Because it can get loud.
Of course it can, yeah. And not just obviously the foot, but that. Yeah.
In honor of my good friend Chairman Langston, who's not here, those 49 affordable units are going to have the same fixtures interspersed throughout the building?
Yes, and they are, and that's, I can show you if you wish, but they're dispersed evenly throughout the building, and yes, they have the same finishes.
Okay. Yeah, that it's required by ordinance as
Right,
well.
exactly. I just wanted to make sure, get that on record. And in honor of my other friend, Commissioner Torres, the balconies that you
They have round handrails.
Perfect, beautiful. Y'all learned it.
Is there a gap on the railing?
There's no
between-
gap on the railing, but
Is
if
there
there
glass?
was, it would
3
need to be
inches,
less
right?
than 4. Yeah, 3 3/4 is the max, but they're glass and there's no gaps.
Torres balcony.
Torres balcony.
Yeah, right.
In the vernacular.
And bike racks, I'm sorry, I know you said
Yes,
that.
so we have 250 bike parking spaces. We have 190 of them in bike rooms within the basement directly adjacent to the elevator cores. We have 52 of them in the parking garage, but separated within their own room, directly accessible from Wales. And then we've got 8 of them in the sidewalks.
Okay. I know, right? Any other questions?
No.
Nope, okay.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
My pleasure, thank you.
Okay, as I said earlier, I have Andrew Vicio is here. He's our traffic expert in the event the board has any questions for him. Otherwise, that would complete our presentation.
No.
Let me just confirm with our, you guys, traffic, you don't need a traffic expert to come up? No? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, that would complete our presentation, and we have reviewed the planner's report. We would agree with all the conditions of approval within the report, with the exception of the garage coming off of Giles. And I don't recall specifically. I think we already talked to Jersey City Traffic about that, and they were on board with it. But it's been a long time because this was originally scheduled in August. I'm pretty confident we already had that discussion with the traffic department.
All right, well, thank you very much for that. I'm going to open it up for public. Anyone here from the public?
Chair, seeing no one from public, I would like to close the public portion.
Public, open and closed. Thank you. And I think we have Joseph.
Yes, Acting Chair. So I had the pleasure of reviewing this project over the past few months in 2025 before it was scheduled to go to board. I found that it complied with the applicable standards in the Zone 4 of the Fayette Broadway redevelopment plan area. The bulk and mass of the site is consistent with what's allowed within the area. As previously mentioned, it does go over the maximum allowable density, but it is allowed to do so by its utilization of the affordable housing overlay with the provision of 49 affordable units or 10% of the unit count. I did want to take a moment to kind of reiterate some of the staff recommendations because some of the commissioners may not have access to the staff memo until very recently. So I'm just going to read this out loud and confirm whether you can, whether your applicant is willing to comply with these, Mr. Harrington. So the first is all testimony given by the applicant and their expert witnesses in accordance with this application shall be binding. Number 2, applicant shall address and or comply with all comments and recommendations of the municipal review agents and staff and will submit revised plans to the Division of City Planning if necessary. 3, all materials and color selections shall be shown on final plans. No change to the facade and site design, including materials as well as any changes that may be required by the Office of the Construction Code, shall be permitted without consultation and approval by planning staff. Number 4, the applicant shall provide an affidavit from the architect of record representing that the constructed project is consistent with the final approval plans prior to the issuance of final certificate of occupancy. Number 5, all street trees and landscaping shall be installed in accordance with the Jersey City forestry standards prior to the issuance of the final certificate of occupancy. Number 6, applicant shall enter into an affordable housing agreement with the city in a form approved by the city prior to any certificate of occupancy. Number 7, the applicant must comply with all conditions stated in the AHO checklist. Number 8, the applicant must comply with requirements of Chapter 188, Housing Accommodations and Affordable Housing Compliance. And lastly, the applicant shall enter into a redevelopment agreement with the GACRA prior to the commencement of the construction. The redevelopment agreement shall provide details of the applicant's pro rata share of the cost to renovate the Van Wagenen Avenue Path pedestrian bridge. So, I just want to confirm the applicant agrees to these conditions.
Yes, we do, with the caveat that I mentioned before about the garage.
Understood. Okay, well, with that, staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Joseph. And thank you, Mr. Harrington. I'll entertain a motion.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve case B 2024-0219 as presented to the board with the caveat of the garage on Giles.
Second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded in the affirmative.
All right. Acting Vice Chair Gangadin.
Beautifully designed building. The affordable units is very much needed in that area. So my vote is aye.
Commissioner Wick.
Aye.
Commissioner Stamato.
Love the building, love the presentation. I vote aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
And Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
I love no variances, no deviations. Love the affordable housing. Love the building. Great presentation. I vote aye. Good luck.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Harrington. And our next case and our final case for today, application, is case P2025-0143. This is for preliminary and final major site plan. Address is 480 Washington Boulevard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Council.
Good evening, I should say, Mr.
Good
Chairman.
evening, yes, sir.
Commissioners. Eric
Good
D.
night, actually.
Yes. Eric D. McCullough from the law firm Waters McPherson McNeil on behalf of the applicant, NOC 7 Land Limited Liability Company. And if someone told me today, when I walked in here at 5:30, as item 28 on the agenda, that they would be getting to us, I would be stunned, but fortunately we came prepared. So I guess hope spring is eternal. So let me give a brief overview of this project, and then I'll call our witnesses. This project is a major site plan approval, preliminary and final. This is a little different from most of the applications, or many of them, because the building that's the subject of this application already exists. It's standing. It's currently an office building in the Newport redevelopment area. It's at 480 Washington Boulevard, right on the northeast corner of Washington Boulevard and 6th Street. And there's two uses in the building. It's an office use, and per an amendment to the site plan approval from several years ago, there's an accessory parking allowance, so the site can be used for off-site parking, so people from other buildings are allowed to park here. What we intend to do is convert the top 9 stories of the building from office use to residential. I should say, before I start calling our witnesses, that this application, and my heart was warmed when the chairman said he likes no variances. This is a variance-free application. So we comply with all the requirements for this. First, the mixed-use nature of the building is permitted. We complied with the residential unit density requirement, the floor area ratio requirement, the improved open space requirement, the parking requirements, signage requirements, and access to the waterfront. We also comply with all other provisions of the municipal land use code here in Jersey City. I will have my experts come up, but before I do so, we did upload through the portal the affidavit of mailing and publication. If Mr. Lampe wants the original, I have it with me. I can hand it up.
Please, and thank you, counsel. I did review the one that was uploaded, but I like to mark the original for the record, so I appreciate that. Chairman, I did have the opportunity to review what was on the portal. This does appear to be the original of that document, so does appear to be in order. It's the affidavit of publication, proof of mailing with respect to the application of 480 Washington. We are going to mark it as A1.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you. We have 3 witnesses this evening. We have the project architect, who we will be calling first. We have the project engineer. And although there's no variances, we felt the application may benefit from having brief testimony from a planner. So we have one present. So I first ask Mr. Michael Boldo to please come forward.
Swearing testimony you give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And for the record, can you state and spell your name?
Sure. Michael Buldo, B-U-L-D-O.
Mr. Boldo, have you testified in front of us before?
I have not.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Of course. I'm a principal at MHS Architecture in Hoboken. I've been with the firm over 25 years. I have a bachelor's degree in architecture from NJIT, and I am licensed in the state of New Jersey, and my license is current and valid.
Great, you're qualified. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Boldo, for the benefit of the board members, could you just please take us through your plans? And there's something on the screen, just please reference what this is, if it's on the portal, and proceed from there.
Sure. These are actually the drawings that were submitted in the portal, so I'm just going to be able to page through those. I think it's the easiest way to kind of describe the project.
Nothing that wasn't on the portal that needs to be marked.
Nope. These are the
Very
drawings
good.
that were submitted. So, as it was discussed, this is an existing office building that they're looking to convert the upper 9 floors to from office use to residential. They're proposing to do 288 dwelling units, of which 108 will be 1-bedrooms, 162 will be 2-bedrooms, and 18 will be 3-bedrooms. So in this photo, this is the existing office building. This is Washington Boulevard. This is the plaza, and the far side is the Thomas Gangami Drive. The first few pages are existing conditions of what the existing floors are. I'm going to page through to get to the proposed ground floor, and then walk through the building from there, if that's okay. So along the top of the page, this is that existing plaza. To the left is Washington Boulevard, and along the bottom of the page is Thomas Gangami Drive. This is the existing office lobby and entrance to the building. That's going to remain as is. The portion down on the end is where we're proposing to provide the residential entrance and residential lobby.
So you'll be coming down along the plaza, entering into the building. As a way to define the entrance for the residential portion of the building, we are proposing a small canopy that's going to project out on the ground floor just to define that entrance. And I can get into the elevations to give you a depiction of what that looks like. So in the lobby, we'll have our mailroom, our package room, and associated lobby amenities, and your residential elevators. Also on the ground floor, excuse me, it's a lot easier when you have a mouse. We're proposing a electrical transformer vault to provide new electrical service into the building. We have the existing loading dock, which is where the trash is going to be taken out. So on the residential floors, we have a common trash room, which is going to have a chute. Recycling is going to be collected in bins. The bins are going to be taken down through a service elevator into the trash collection room, which will then be taken, oops. Which will then be taken from the trash collection room or a compactor room into the loading dock area. So all the trash will be handled out through the loading dock of the building and contained within the residential floors. Well, the offices actually has the existing trash collection system in place, yes, and it's going to be, the residential is going to be separate from the office, but it is going to be addressed within the building with a common chute. Yes.
Do you have any idea what type of tonnage you're going to be generating? Not dollar-wise, but weight-wise.
Commissioner, I think you need to turn the mic on.
Oh, sorry. But trying to figure out what kind of, just curiosity, what type of tonnage are you anticipating?
On drawing A201, we actually have the calculations for the recycling calculations, and then we also have the trash calculations.
Okay, great.
So we're anticipating about, for the trash and recycling, about maybe about 4,000, a little more than 4,000 gallons of trash.
How often?
I believe that's on a weekly basis.
And then 1,200 of recycling on a weekly basis, you're thinking?
Yes, I believe that's the case, yes, 1,200.
So you're saying, what, a couple days a week or just basically once a week? I'm just trying to get it in my head.
That's usually something that's worked out with the private trash hauler, what the
okay.
frequency is, yeah.
Okay.
So continuing up through the building, these are the existing parking floors, which remain unchanged. What we are introducing on the third floor and the third floor, the fifth floor, and the sixth floor is we're introducing bicycle parking within the building. So on the third floor, we're going to be providing commercial bike parking for 41 bikes. And then on the fifth and sixth floor is where we're going to have residential bike parking for 144 bikes, which is a half a bike per dwelling unit.
Just to clarify on this point, your plans provide for bicycle parking for both the offices and the residents?
That's correct. That's correct. And it's in the parking garage portion of the building. So this is the existing office floors coming up to the 9th floor, the 22nd floor is a partial renovation of this floor where a portion of it is going to be office space and then a portion of it is going to be amenity for the residential portion of the building. And the amenities within the building are going to be a co-working area, a lounge, a party room, club room, etc. And then we get up to the residential floor, and office plates are a little bit challenging sometimes to convert to residential because they end up being a little bit deeper. So what we've done is we've put all the residential units on the exterior of the building, so they have that connection to the exterior. You get the natural light, and we've put amenity spaces and more utilitarian spaces more in the center of the floor plan, which isn't necessarily require sunlight. And then continuing up through the building, it's basically the exact same floor plate, stacking and repeating up through the building. We have sample unit plans which depict the 1 bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms, and the 3 bedrooms as well. This is just an enlarged floor plan of the ground floor We've already covered that. What we do have now is a side-by-side of the building elevations. So one thing that we're going to have to do as converting it from an office to residential use is we're going to have to introduce louvers for the mechanical systems for the dwelling units. But what we're going to do is we're going to remove one of the glazing units, introduce a new vertical mullion, and introduce a louver side-by-side. So the only change to the building facade that you would see is an introduction of louvers in that glass panel. There's no projections, there's no change in the depth of the building at all.
How many floors is this building?
The total number of floors is 29. There's 29 stories. We're not proposing to introduce any additional floors.
So it's 29 floors.
That's correct.
The plans indicate 31 because there's no 13th floor.
That's why I'm a little
and no
confused.
second
And
floor.
no second floor. Yeah, it confused me as well the first time I was looking at it, that there's no second floor, so it goes ground to third floor, and then it goes 12 to 14. So that's why when you see 31 labeled, it's
Right.
actually 29 when you count
So
them.
it's 29 floors.
Correct.
And the additional units, the new units, is 288 units, which will start from the 9th floor, going upward?
I'm sorry, from the 22nd floor. It's the uppermost 9 floors.
Oh, 20, okay, gotcha.
So the lower floors are going to remain as an office use.
As office use, okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So as we were talking about the building facade, we're introducing louvers on those residential floors, and we're grouping them so that they're side by side. So it's not in a random pattern. They're actually thought out and grouped. When I was speaking earlier about the residential entrance, I was talking about as we're creating this canopy to define that residential entrance. This is a depiction of what that canopy is going to be. It's just a way to identify where the residential entrance portion of the building is.
I have a question. You skipped floors. What was that about? Explain that. Was that for utility purposes, utilities?
No, those were existing office floors that are going to remain as an office use. They want to take the uppermost 9 floors of the building and convert those to residential.
All right,
They're currently
I understand
unoccupied.
that. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
And these are just the other sides of the building, which again, it's the same thing. We're introducing some louvers on those upper residential floors for the mechanical systems for the dwelling units. And this is just a massing diagram of the building where the light blue or the blue is indicating the office use. The kind of yellowish tan is introducing where the residential units are. And kind of that pinky magenta color is where the amenity spaces are. So you do have one floor that's going to be mixed between office and amenity for the residential, and then dwelling units above. And these are just enlarged elevations showing more definition of the louvers. And as far as colors of the mullions and louvers, we're going to be using a silver that matches the existing mullions that are within the building, so it keeps that similar color palette. That's basically all I have.
Do we have any questions for Mr. Boldo? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Counselor, are we changing anything engineering-wise? I understand, obviously, we're converting several floors, 9, I believe, is what was just testified to residential use. But is the remainder of the site remaining, other than, obviously, the entrance lobby? Is it something that we really got to go?
It'll be brief. There's a few minor
Okay.
changes, and there are improvements to what's there now.
Okay,
So I'll call him Gabriel Gornelli,
Sure.
our engineer.
You swear any testimony you give tonight is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And for the record, can you state your name?
Sure, it's Gabrielle Gornelli, Gabrielle, Gornelli.
Ms. Gornelli, have you presented in front of us before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and your license is active and current?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you are qualified.
Okay. I will be brief.
We appreciate that.
I just don't know why it's not. I have it plugged in.
You're good. Sorry about that. I got distracted.
So what I have on the screen, these are the submitted civil engineering drawings. This is the civil sheet C301. So as was mentioned, there are minor exterior improvements to support the project. primarily in the location of the residential lobby. There's some minor adjustments to the paving there to create an entrance. There are some modifications to some existing landscaping in the area. We're creating some planter areas in the front of the building. The existing entry into the parking garage, which is asphalt, is going to be improved with pervious pavers. And then on the northeast side of the building, there is a little exterior amenity space that will be for the residents. In the rear on the building on the south side along Gangemi, the architect mentioned the improvements with the new electrical room. So there is just some sidewalk improvements in that area as well. And the existing loading dock, as the site is in a flood zone, we do have a flood hazard permit from the NJDEP. As part of that flood hazard requirement, they required us to kind of reverse the slope of the loading dock. It was depressed, and they're requiring us to pitch it so that water drains towards the street, so that loading dock doesn't flood in a rain event. Flipping to the C501 sheet, this is our grading, drainage, and utility plan. Again, just very minor grading improvements along the plaza. We were required to raise the residential lobby because the site is in the flood zone. So the residential lobby was raised. The existing first floor is 12.64. We were required to raise the residential lobby to 13.14 so that it would be 1 foot above the flood elevation. So that residential portion is being raised, minor grading on the exterior to accommodate that. The office portion, the office lobby, will be flood-proofed instead of being raised, which is permitted for non-residential uses. Then I just have the landscape plan, which shows, a visual of the landscape improvements. The site, as I mentioned, is in the flood zone, so we were required to comply with the green area ratio. 0.25 is required. We have a 0.26 proposed. That's a combination of the ground level landscaping and the pervious pavers that are going in the driveway. That is pretty much it, unless there are any other questions.
Thank you, Ms. Gornelli. Anyone? Any questions?
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Counsel, I know Mr. Height wants to testify.
Well, we want to get this done, and there are no variances. If the board feels that you don't need to hear the testimony of the planner, we'll testify that there are no variances and all other requirements are being complied with. If you'll accept that at face value, then perhaps we can dispense with Mr. Height. But if there are any questions, he is here, and I know he's eager to testify, but I get the sense that the board seems to say, okay, do we need him? And the answer is no. The commissioner says no.
No? Anybody? Do you want him to just put his appearance?
Come on, Mr. Height.
We love you.
Come on.
Come on.
Don't Bellamy me.
Okay, well.
Charles Height, H-E-Y-D-T.
You have to testify, raise your hand.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Height, your license is current?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
3 items of clarification, and I do think Cameron did the review very thoroughly on this application. We were a part of the amendment for the Newport redevelopment plan. The max density for each site in the Southern District, residential district, is 243 acres. We comply at 111. There is also an overall district requirement of 200 units per acre. This application also complies with the change at 90.2 dwelling units per acre, far lower than what the maximums are. We are in the Southern District, Southern Residential District, and with respect to parking, there's no minimum residential parking requirement. We actually reset a maximum, which we comply with. So I just wanted to confirm those things. Always a pleasure, board, and thank you sincerely.
Any questions for Mr. Height? No. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Mr. McCullough.
That completes our presentation. I did have an opportunity to review the staff memo that was prepared, and I received it today. I did have a chance to speak to the client about it. All of the conditions are acceptable, so unless there's any questions, we would rest and thank the board for its time and attention.
Wonderful, thank you. We're gonna open it up for the public. Anyone here from the public?
Chair, see no one from the public. I would like to close the public portion.
Okay, public is now closed, and I think Cameron? Yes, sir.
Yes, Acting Chair. I'm just going to mark into evidence my staff report dated today, February 10th, appearing on your screens here. And I'm going to just pause my screen on the conditions that will be put into the resolution if the board deems this an approval, an application worthy of approval. Planning staff's reviewed their application. It complies with the objectives and goals of the Newport Redevelopment Plan and the Jersey City Master Plan. It has extensive landscaping, and they've gone above and beyond to meet the GAR requirements in this zone, which on existing sites, sometimes we don't always think it's feasible, but they made it happen, so we're happy about that. It is interesting to see the mix of use here and the adaptation of this office building into residential, and it could be the beginning of many that come to the board. So this is an interesting application before us. But all that said, planning staff is satisfied with the expert testimony provided and the planner testimony regarding the density. The density in this plan is a bit peculiar, so I appreciated that clarification, Charles. All that said, planning staff recommends approval. It doesn't have any variances, and it meets the objectives of the redevelopment plan and our master plan.
So Cameron, you said you wanted to mark it. You want to mark it as B1?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you, Council. Mark it as B1. Thank you.
And that's because you uploaded it today, I suspect.
That is correct, Council.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Council.
We, as Council stated, we did not think we were going to get to this case.
I knew this was going to happen.
I knew you were going to come up.
Did you think you'd be going home early tonight?
No. All right, thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve case B 2025-0143 as presented to the board with staff recommendations and conditions.
Second it.
All right, motion made in the affirmative and seconded.
Okay, on a motion to approve, Acting Vice Chair Gongadin.
Yes, I like this. This is something new here in Jersey City, and I think it's going to be an uprising thing right now. We need more housing, and so my vote is aye.
Commissioner Wick,
Aye.
Commissioner Stamato,
Very exciting project. Guys did a great job, great presentation, very happy with it. I vote aye.
Commissioner Patel, and Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, same. I mean, no variance again. We talked about that. Very interesting. I don't think, we haven't seen one like this before. Curious how it turns out, but it sounds like a great idea. And yeah, I'm gladly voting aye.
Motion carries, all in favor with conditions.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you as well. Okay, resolutions. Oh, what? What's going on? Huh?
Nothing. Chair, I have seven resolutions.
I did have one, but Tyler fucked up on me. Whatever. I just don't like it when that happens.
Planning Board of the City of Jersey City, resolution is for Vaishnu Summit LLC, 1-year extension for preliminary and final major site plan with C deviation. Address is 198 Academy Street, Block 12301, Lot 2. Case number is B 2025-0249. Resolution of Planning Board for the City of Jersey City, Garfield Phase 1A Urban Renewal LLC, and Garfield Phase 1B Urban Renewal LLC for major site plan approval with C deviation 880-900 Garfield Avenue, Block 21501.01, Lot 1, and Block 21501.02, Lots 1, 2, and 3. and Block 21501.01, Lot 2, Row 1, and Block 21501.02, Lots 4 and 5, Row 2, Jersey City. Case number is P2024-0171. Resolution for the Planning Board for the City of Jersey City. Applicant is Landmark Properties, New Jersey LLC for conditional use approval with variances 3169 Kennedy Boulevard, Jersey City, New Jersey, Block 5404, Lot 23, case number P2024-019. Planning Board for the City of Jersey City in a matter of 421 New York Avenue, LLC. Applicant, case number is P2024-0141. January 13, 2026, memorialized on February 10, 2026, for minor site plan, C variance and design waiver, exception relief. City of Jersey City memorializing its review and recommendation with respect to installation of signage on mixed-use academic building at 14 Annis Place, located in Jersey City campus by Hudson County Community College. Resolution for the Planning Board of the City of Jersey City, approval and recommendation of amendments to the Powerhouse Art District redevelopment plan. City of Jersey City, applicant is Wallabout Realty Holding LLC for preliminary and final site plan approval with C deviations 87 Van Horn Street, also known as 87 and 97 Van Horn Street, Block 19901.01, also known as Block 19901, Lots 1, 2, and 3, also known as 2-7 and 42-44, Jersey City. Case number is B2024-0039.
Okay, can I have a second? Okay, perfect, thank you.
Acting,
We're gonna have, go ahead. Sorry, we're gonna vote on this, I'm so sorry.
Acting Vice Chair Gangadin.
Aye.
Commissioner Wick.
Aye.
Commissioner Samato.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
And Acting Chair Dr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries all in favor to memorialize resolutions.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second,
We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
thank you.